And I'll post, I will post the recording in Slack in a day or so. I don't know if you guys saw the agenda, but there's a couple things I want to chat about. One is, and I don't have any idea. I didn't go through Slack and look to see if there's anything, but National has asked us all to police this, that Slack should be used for COS related communications only. Now, so they say like even like the random channel, it should be something that's related to convention estates. It might not be a, something that's directly connected to us, but it ought to be related. So just keep that in mind. And if you see, somebody in your region that's posting things that are not really COS related, just ask them to defer and not do that. And the reason for that is that we are now at, as you know, 17 states. We're very close to getting a couple more, and we're going to get a lot more opposition. And one of the things that will happen is that if our opponents, if you recall the situation up in Canada with the truckers, I think somebody found one picture of one guy with a Confederate flag. And so all of a sudden they paint the entire group as a bunch of racists, right? And so somebody finds one thing on Slack that could be, spun to be a very big negative for convention estates, they'll do it. And so just, be cautious about things that we put on Slack and make sure that they are COS related. And you guys may have seen the information about the Reawaken America tour. They've looked at this and they feel that there's some things there that do not align with COS values. And so they've asked us to be sure that nobody is posting anything or taking actions to promote that tour using COS resources. Somebody wants to promote it to their email group or something like that outside of COS, we can't stop that, but they don't want any COS resources used to promote that. And I don't know if you guys looked at it. I took a look at it, just curiosity. I didn't know anything about it. They have a lot of good people, but there's also Alex Jones and, some other people that are questionable that are involved. And anyway, COS has made the decision that they don't want any of us doing anything to help promote that. Now, question, are any of you planning to go to the summit in Orlando? Dale, anybody else?
When is that, Gary?
I was going to, but I'm planning on it.
Okay.
I think the rooms are $180 a night. I thought that was a little stiff. Can you get like double occupancy at cheaper rate, or is that per person per room?
No, that's for the room. So if you share the room with another person, it gets cut in half. And if you don't have somebody that you want to share the room with, I think that they can work to assign somebody from another state or wherever that will share a room with you. And also, if needed, there may be some financial assistance available. I will get information to Brenda on people if there is a request for financial assistance, and they will look at it. I don't know how much financial assistance they have available, but there may be some assistance available.
So who do we send the $200 to for a reservation?
You make the reservation directly with the hotel. There should have been in the email about it, you register for the summit, and then there's a link there to contact the hotel and, tell them that you're with this group and you get the group rate, and they reserve the room for you. I don't think they charge, they don't charge on the room yet.
When is it,
And
Gary?
Yes.
When is it?
It's October I think it's the 6th through the 9th. It's in Orlando, Florida. Let me pull it up. So, Thursday, October the 6th, it begins that evening. And then it's, they have a reception, something that evening. And then it's Friday and Saturday. And then on Sunday morning, they will probably have a church gathering type thing. And, there'll be breakfast there, but Sunday will be, departure day. There won't be any official meetings on Sunday. It's really a Friday, Saturday. And it's going to be a lot of good, people like Pete Hegseth is going to be there. Steve Dace is going to be there. They'll have a lot of good speakers. Be a great opportunity that you'll have to other convention estates people from around the country. So I don't know how active you guys are on the COS Slack for the COS DC, the national COS DC channel, or the past. I don't know if you guys are on the past states channel or not, but people that you've had contact with on Slack, you might meet them face to face. Particularly if you're active on Slack, you may know who some of those people are. Questions about that? I encourage you to, attend if you can. I think you'll find it to be worthwhile. It'll be educational and inspirational.
You're muted, Gary.
My mic was muted for how long? Now it says everybody's muted. Who did that?
You were muted for probably 30 seconds.
Okay. All right. Well, can you hear me now? So anyway, I'm just encouraging you to go to the summit if you can. And the other thing I would like to do is we have, you can see down at the on the agenda there, we actually have 28 people assigned as district captains right now. We have 22 assigned on the DC team. So for those of you not good in math, that's 50 people. Plus we have, region captains, other people in state leadership. One of my goals is to see if we can't get to 40 people on the next state call. So I would, when you get I think Dale's going to wait till tomorrow to post the link for the meeting in Slack. Make sure that you contact all the district captains in your region and email that link to them as well, or somehow reach out to them, text them, call them, whatever, and encourage them to be on the state call. We have a lot of people I don't think have ever been on a state call. And I found out that one of our district captains was not getting emails about it. So let's see if we can't get 40 people on this next state call. We've usually had about 20, and I'd like to set a goal to get to 40 on these state calls.
So, you're going to send out the link.
Now, Dale typically, we asked Dale to post the invite to the state call. I'm not sure if he's going to email it or he's going to put it in Slack, but he used to send it out 4 or 5 days in advance. And part of the reason that we thought maybe people weren't coming to the state call is they'd lose track of that link.
They couldn't find it.
It went out too far in advance. So he's going to send it out much closer to the state call, like maybe the day before, and he might even send it out again the day of. But
They're going to send it on Slack.
I think I'm not sure if he's going to email it again or if he's going to put it in Slack. I'll ask him about that.
But if he puts it in Slack,
And
tell him to let us know where in the world in Slack it is.
Okay. Now, when you get a message in Slack and it's in that, there's that little red circle and it's got a number in it. That's a direct message or a message to you. It's of something in Slack that you should take a look at.
Yeah, I look at that sometimes.
Okay. Well, try to reach out to the district captains in your region and volunteers. If you got somebody that's a volunteer that's actually participating, see if you can get them to get on that state call. Because I'd like to. We should be able to get. We usually have about 20. Maybe we should make our first goal to get to 30. But I really think if we try hard, we should be able to get 40 people on there.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? Vicki, as far as Travis Little goes, if you don't hear back from Jerry by tomorrow, I'd give him a call or message him in Slack and ask him if he can give you an update.
Okay. He's supposed to be working on 2 of my district captains, and is there any way I can contact him directly besides Slack? Because he hasn't answered me on my Slack messages.
Yeah, I can give you his phone number, I think. Do you have his email address?
What is it? jerry.rowe@cosaction.com? Is that?
Well, he should have that, but he's also got another one that I have, is Gmail account, which is Voice of America 1925.
What is it?
Voice of America 1925 @gmail.com. And his cell phone is now if he tells you not to call him on his cell phone, why tell him you'll delete it. But his mobile number is 765-517-2531. And Jerry's usually pretty responsive and helping out with those things. Sometimes there are issues that he has to go to somebody at National to try to work out. So just because, he's our go-to guy to solve tech problems doesn't mean that he can directly solve all of them easily. Sometimes he has to go to other people as well. But
Well, when's the best time to call him? Does he work during the day or?
No, he, I don't know what his I think he keeps probably more like normal hours, like a normal person. Maybe, I don't know.
I know I was working with something on him this past week, and he had a to-do list from National that they had some deadlines on that took him out for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. By the way, let me mention this to you guys. You remember we passed the resolution in Indiana in 2016, and as a courtesy to the guy who was the lead sponsor in the Senate, was Travis Holdman. I think he's the one who made a request to Convention of States to say, stop sending an email to all legislators or each legislator each time a petition is signed. And so national put the state of Indiana on hold. So when somebody signs a petition in Indiana, an email does not go to their legislator. We're the only one of the 50 states that's that way. Well, this problem is that it creates an error message in their system that says there's an error because somebody signed a petition, but no email was sent to their legislator. And they would like us to, turn that back on and resolve that. That might be one of the things that Jerry's working with them on. But a request has been made, and you guys tell me your feedback. I understand that some of them from like more than a year and a half ago, they can't send now, but there's about 750 of them that if they would turn it back on, would be sent out in batches over a short period of time. Are you comfortable? Do you think we should go ahead and turn those back on? I've kind of heard arguments both ways.
I think they should be reminded every time somebody joins. Of course, it might not have the same impact when you switch legislators, but those ones that are staying, I like for them to see that this thing is growing. But we might be able to do that in a different way, but we're going to have to it's going to have to be some way where it can be compatible with the system.
Yeah. Dale, what are your thoughts?
I think it just kind of depends on the personality of the people that are the recipients, The problem with emails is, like my personal one, if that's any example, it's inundated with, I spend 10 minutes a day deleting emails. And I'm not sure trickling in one at a time if that's of extreme value. I think there's a lot more value in calls and letters coming from the district captains and the people in leadership than there is for an individual email for a joiner. That's just my opinion.
All right, Thomas, what do you think?
Instead of sending a batch of emails, just send the total. This is the total number of petitions we got from people in your district.
Like every quarter?
Okay. That's another possibility, was doing like a batch notice. Vicki, what are your thoughts?
Well, I've got a question. So Senator Holman wanted these petitions to go to the representatives. Is that what he said?
He wanted us, because they had just passed the COS resolution, or maybe the year before they passed it, and they were still getting emails like every week or two. And I guess their complaint was that their staff was, felt like they needed to respond when they got an email saying John Doe signed the petition. Then they would send a response to John Doe saying, thanks for letting me know. And so they asked us to stop sending those every time a petition was signed. And we did that. And it's been that way for several years, that we have not been routinely sending them an email every time somebody signs a petition. Now, obviously, it would only go to that person's legislator. But, when you're getting, like right now, we're getting about 200 petitions a week in Indiana, is my understanding. So that means every week, there's probably, most of the people in the legislature are getting an email a week or two from us.
Yeah, but when we get people to sign these petitions, we are telling them that they are
Yes.
going to their legislature.
Yeah,
And
I
if
have
it's
told a
not
lot of
going there,
lies.
We've been lying to them.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I think the legislators need to get them
Okay.
just for that reason, because they're being told that's where they're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've told that to many, many, many people.
Well, we should have been talking about this a long time ago because I'd kind of forgotten until this came up about National contacted us and said, hey, we got all these error things because we've had those on hold. LW, you got any thoughts about this?
Well, I was made aware of this, I don't know, a couple of years ago. And I saw it as an opportunity for me to, every time I visit, and then if I don't visit or don't get the opportunity, I go ahead and send to them what I call my own stats, national, state, and local stats. I send one to the senator and one to the representative that gives them the total number on an as of date. And it's printed.
Okay.
And I like that because it gives me an opportunity to have something to give them when I visit. And if I don't visit, it gives me the opportunity to communicate with them if I haven't seen them. Oh, here, by the way, as of July the 31st, here are the stats for the nation, national level, state level, and in your House district or in your Senate district. I list petition signers and volunteers.
Okay.
That was the kind of cool thing about those pocket constitutions they made out for every legislator is it had that little stat, and this is how many people it's increased by, and there was a lot of really great stats in there for that particular legislator.
Okay.
I give them the percentage of increase from the previous report
Mm-hmm.
in both petition signers, supporters, and volunteers.
Okay.
I just go through Citizen Builder and figure that out. It's easy to do.
Yeah.
So that's where you get the numbers?
I get the numbers off of Citizen Builder. You can create however many you want per page, and it's pretty easy to count that way. Just go back to the December 31st and start counting each forward, 20 per page or 50 per page or whatever you want to set it up for.
Yeah.
Huh.
And I think there may be a way to print
Filter it.
out a list of like the names of people as well. But one of the things that's really come out of this legislative session, not so much on the House side, but on the Senate side, is that the senators don't want to do anything that the people want. And I feel like, one of the feelings is we need to be hitting these people with our stuff, but also none of the people that are seeking re-election in the Senate are being primaried. And so they feel like nobody's going to push me. I can do whatever I want. And that's kind of that's how I see it.
Are you talking about the state Senate?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Not to mention, I saw where Danny Niederberger got knocked off of the primary list.
He did.
By the election committee or whatever.
Why?
I don't know why. He sent a thing out.
He didn't have enough.
He didn't get his signatures in time. Here was a mix-up with Marion County, I think, and a couple of different counties where he was late with his signatures. Said he had the number, but he didn't get them in time.
Yeah. Well,
So we're stuck with Todd Young?
no, we're not stuck with Todd Young. You can vote for a socialist. And at least the socialist will tell you he's a socialist.
Yeah.
We're not going to beat him, though. He's He's the Senate leader's pet. Mitch
Yeah.
McConnell.
He's disgusting, I tell you.
Well,
He got a lot of money.
yeah. The
Yeah, trucker didn't have a lot of money.
who didn't?
That trucker didn't have a lot of money in New Jersey.
That's true, but that was for a state Senate seat, not a U.S. Senate seat.
I bet you'd be surprised. I mean, why did they not want competition?
Because that way they can do whatever they want.
Well, they don't have, yeah, but they don't have to worry about getting reelected.
Yeah. Good reason to have term limits.
Maybe we ought to start emailing Todd Young and telling him how disappointed we are in him.
Falls on deaf ears.
Yeah.
He knows he's in a safe seat.
Yeah. Really, the way to get somebody to change, I'm convinced, is to run against him in a primary, give him a primary challenge, but it's got to be a strong challenger. Dan Niederberger looked like a good guy, but I don't think he had even if he was going to be on the ballot, what were his chances of actually being competitive with Todd Young? Probably not too good. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe not, but
Niederberger had zero chance against Todd Young. Niederberger's never held any public office at all, period, at any level.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
And he's very young, which
The only way to do it, these people, these challengers, have to get their face and their name out, and that takes money. But that's the only way people are going to vote for him.
yeah,
They're going to vote for the incumbent that's in office because that's the only name they know.
yeah. Yep.
And we
They got to do commercials. They got to do
We need
be out
to
in
do
the public, go to different towns.
We need to do the only thing. What is that amendment we need to repeal?
17.
That's it. We need to repeal that one.
That's right. That should be our number one priority.
Yep. That's the one.
what is 17?
Because the
Direct
direct,
elections of senators.
yeah.
It should be.
The what? Oh, yes.
That was the,
You know, that's the one that was between what it was the income tax
Yeah, 1930.
and prohibition.
yeah.
Was it prohibition? Well,
That
Yeah,
got to
it
be.
was prohibition.
That was the 25th. Everybody remember that one.
Unfortunately, that movement started in the States. And just like the Electoral College movement, getting rid of the Electoral College is starting in the States. We could
Well,
lose that.
Yeah, it started in the States with fake news. They ginned up the support for it with fake news. You know, that was 100 years ago, but more than 100 years ago. But it's that is how they did it. They got it in the States to push for it.
Hey, Gary, you said it looks like a couple more may pass. Who is it?
Yeah. I think South Carolina is, and Kansas passed through a committee in a contentious vote, and so it'll go to the full House there. Kansas is kind of unique that their constitution says that they have to have a 2/3 majority to pass these resolutions. So it's going to be a tough state to get it through, but Kansas, at least used to be when I lived there, was a pretty conservative state.
Isn't Nadelson filed a lawsuit against that violates the Constitution?
You know, I don't know if he did or not. It would make sense
Sure he did.
to do so.
You know, they can't have a higher standard within the state. I think he's filed a lawsuit. Rob
Okay.
Davis.
You know, I saw
this one proposal for this one resolution. That's
Yeah.
his point is this one resolution. They have to have the same standards as the rest of the states.
Yeah. Have any of you guys been reading Glenn Beck's book on the Great Reset?
I haven't read that. I read The Overton Window by him, but
Okay. Well, in the Great Reset, when he talks about solutions, one of the solutions he mentions and talks about is an Article 5 convention.
wow.
He does not mention Convention of States organization, but he does talk about how the states, through using Article 5, can amend the Constitution to rein in the federal government.
We better get it done while there's still a constitution.
Amen to that, brother. So, anyway, let's try to put on the full court press and see if we can get people on the state call that have not habitually been there, and
Oh,
check the training sheet and see if people are moving and anything else I can help you out with.
When is the state call?
It is 2 days from now, Wednesday, the 23rd, 8 o'clock.
Are you the one that takes care of putting the training sheets up, or are you doing the MEPs?
I put new people on the MEP, but George puts new people on the training sheet.
Okay.
So, what time again, Gary?
That'll be 8 o'clock p.m. fourth Wednesday every month, the state call. So, and if you got, even especially new people, it's a great opportunity to get your new, people don't even have to be through training or anything. Anybody that's new, and in fact, we want to start inviting people that are volunteer activists. If you got somebody that's got an indication that they want to be involved, get forward an invitation to them to get on the state call.
Gary, do we know for sure who the invitation list is?
I think it used to go only to state leaders and district captains, and I think now we had some discussion about that and decided we ought to send it to everybody that's even volunteer activists. In fact, I don't know if Dale is going to do this or not, but we talked to him about sending it out to everybody that's ever signed the petition, everybody on the email list. I don't know if any of them will tune in, but and I'm not sure if he's doing that or not, but I figure the more people we invite, the better.
I was watching COS Indiana Live when I discovered the link tonight, and as I was watching it, it was saying 2 people watching, 3 people watching, 2 people watching. Is that really true? There was only 2 people watching that thing?
I do not know for certain if
Have
they
you ever
know.
seen that? Have you ever seen that, though, what I'm talking about, Gary?
No.
Yeah, while you are looking at it, if it's not expanded to show the whole screen, if it's smaller than that, you've got the little comment. Hey, you can do comments over here, but occasionally, ever so often, a little thing will pop up underneath them when they're talking. It says 2 people are now watching, and I thought, holy cow! Surely there were more people there.
Maybe that's 2 people watching it while you're watching it.
Could be.
It could be, and the thing is that goes out on Facebook Live, but I think it is also being broadcast on some other platforms.
Oh, that's right. Because I watch it through YouTube because I hate Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it might only be 2 people watching through YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he normally has more than that. And I think with counting the recording, people who watch the recording, I know that number goes up a lot from there.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. They can watch it anytime. That's true.
Yeah. Well, it's 8:37. Anybody else got any questions, comments, complaints? Send your complaints to Thomas. He'll handle them. Right, Thomas? You're muted, so I can send everybody.
He'll sick his brother John on you is what he'll do.
Oh yeah, John Durham. He'll have John Durham investigate me.
He'll be knocking on your door
I'll
with
take it
an
under
indictment.
consideration. When I put in my bid for what is that? What is that seat up in Washington? Supreme Court Justice.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing I really want to throw out, because I have this about all these people saying you have to have experience for this, you have to have experience for that, you got to be this, you got to have a PhD in here. There's nothing there's nothing in the Constitution saying I have to have experience to be anything. Just there's an age, especially if you want to sit in that Oval Office that everybody is trying to get there. You know, why would they want to get there? Because he's not, he's below my status.
Yeah.
I mean, and people.
That's what we need. We need a few farmers and a few
Truck drivers,
doctors and electricians and stuff like that in there, rather than these attorneys. But
or just remember,
nothing against attorneys. I got a daughter and a son-in-law.
these are the first people you kill when you have a revolution.
I think it's either today or tomorrow that the truckers' freedom convoy starts out in California en route to Washington, D.C.
We need more truckers. Without a doubt.
I saw their schedule, their plan. They're going to be going to pass through Indianapolis, I think, on March 2nd or 3rd, right in there. They're supposed to go through Indy, so they must be taking I-70.
Oh,
they'll be able to get some more people for the DC gulag.
That could be. That could be. Well, guys, that's all I've got for tonight. Any other comments or recommendations?
Thank you, Gary.
For the good of the order. Keep up the good work, and I look forward to seeing you all on the state call on Wednesday, and I'm going to end the recording.
Take care.
All right, thank you, Gary.
All right. See you now.